and without debate, yeah.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. What it do? What the business is? Woo! Welcome to another episode of the MDX Radio Show. I am your Maurice Prophet. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I know. Y'all heard the silence. Y'all heard the delay. Y'all heard it. It was real. Ladies, I am sorry there is no Denny Dane tonight. I am very sorry about that. I know that's why y'all tune in to see Mr. Denny Dane, but it ain't happening tonight, y'all. He's on holiday. He's taking a night off, doing his thing, Dane on some other stuff. But we know he is doing well. So tonight is gonna be me in the driver's seat, y'all. Oh yeah, let's get. What is up with y'all tonight, y'all? What's going on with y'all? Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of the MDX Radio Show. As you know, I'm Mr. Maurice Prophet. And what is happening tonight? We are going to have some fun tonight, for real. I got a really good treat for y'all. But first things first, got to shout out to all my peoples out there. Thank you to all of our Facebook audience members who joined us our last episode we had a couple weeks ago. Had great numbers, had a great turnout, great conversation. Y'all were out there on fire. Shout out to our YouTube audience as well, too. I see y'all. Shout out to our iHeartRadio audience. And shout out to everybody that's listening on IntellectualRadio.com on the actual website itself. We love y'all, and we appreciate you guys coming back to join us as well. And, of course, shout out to Earl and Wanda making this all possible for us here at Intellectual Radio and all the the IR radio family. Y'all know who you are out there doing the thing. All right. Before we get started with tonight's show, I got some church announcements I gotta mention first. First things first, just letting y'all know, reminder that this Saturday is going to be the Show and Tip Expo at the Holiday Inn Conference Center at 500 Holiday Plaza in Matson, Illinois, from 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. Music by DJ Chud and my boy DJ Big Daddy House. Remember last time I said if I ever become a DJ, my name's gonna become Big Daddy House because I like that name. I'm gonna ride with that. I can be called DJ Big Daddy House Part 2. But see, the original Big Daddy House that's gonna be at the that Show and Tip Expo. And in addition to that, Miss Alice Boswell will be live on the scene recording Pieces of Alice. That is going to be off the chain. That's going to be from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Saturday. And I'm going to tell y'all, to give you guys a little bit of a pro tip, how to make your Saturday, March 23rd, as epic as possible. Check out the Show and Tip Expo, and then come over to 115 Bourbon Street, and I'll tell y'all about that in a few minutes. All right, we'll talk about that in a little bit. In addition to that, this episode is proudly sponsored by B-Side Studios LLC, and as you already know, if it ain't the right side, if it ain't B-Side, baby, all right. you know you like that. Don't even front, all right. And in addition, speaking of B-Side, letting you all know that Adultish, the play that we did last month at the Schomburg Prairie Center for the Arts, that was written and directed by myself and an amazing cast of about 25 artists that we had on stage, that will be dropping next week on on video. And so I should be getting it all finalized this weekend. It will be out there, so make sure that you check all your social media platforms, all the updates in terms of the video. It will be out there. All right. And all of the images from Adultish are available right now for download. I will be posting about it tomorrow, making a big announcement about it as well. And they are for print or for print purchase or for download. And they are all by Paulina Fedroska, the great Paulina Fedroska, who was our photographer. She did an incredible job. I'm telling y'all, we had like the most vivid, the most beautiful images that came from Paulina. And Paulina never does any halfway work. Her work is always, prime to the core. So y'all should really enjoy those photos when they will be up tomorrow. Hit me up for any information you need from that. Now, big news. All right, we're still talking about Beast, right? And I am really excited to talk about this. So I made the announcement yesterday, but now I'm actually on the air. I can talk a little bit more verbally with y'all. Huge step in the right direction for B-Side Studios. As you guys know, through this journey of filmmaking and playwriting and all that good stuff and everything, a couple years ago, we started working on this project called Adultish. I'm not Adultish. I'm sorry. Broke AF. I got so many. I got so many productions in my head right now. Broke AF. And it's a web series. It started in 2016 as an idea. We started filming it in 2017. Y'all were hearing about all my peaks and valleys with it when we were in production. We rolled it out 2018 last year, and now 2019, the project is not dead because it found a home on Amazon Prime, y'all. Amazon Prime UK is on, and what this means is that it's gonna be Amazon Prime in the UK. It's on Amazon Prime in Canada, Australia, and India. All right. So I know it's international at the moment. And I know most of y'all are saying, okay, I'm in Nebraska. What does that have to do with me? Right. So, but what this means though is that there's just a few functionalities that need to be completed on my end. And then once that is all taken care of, then it will be on Amazon Prime United States in about 3 to 4 weeks. And so we are almost there, y'all. It is amazing. And I'm just really happy because, this was, I remember back in 2017 when we had our first orientation with the entire cast. I told them straight up that this was an objective. This was like one of the main objectives of mine, to make sure that we were able to land some type of streaming platform, because it was really important that these actors were able to get just to get some more exposure. And I know that most of the actors that are on the cast, they're all working, they're all hustling, they're all out there putting their art out there and making things happen and whatnot. But every little bit helps. But this was something that I really had a desire for, to make sure that it really got to that point. And sure enough, after much back and forth and lots of like red tape and hurt and everything, we finally got the green light. It uploaded beautifully, and now we're there. And what's great about this too as well is that not only will Broke AF be on there, but also any other projects that I have in mind as well too that I have done, it will be on there as well too. So even if I wanted to put what are we going to eat, I could put that on there as well. If I wanted to put, these new films that we have coming up this summer as well, they already have a home. So it really feels good knowing that, Amazon is going to be our home when it comes to B-Side Studios at the moment. So, shout out to the good people at Amazon Prime. I see y'all doing your thing, letting a little old guy like myself come in the door and, find a seat at the table and everything. It feels really good. But that's going to be available for you guys very soon. If you are in the UK, if you're in India, if you are in Canada or Australia, it is available right now for you guys to stream. So go ahead, fire up that Prime, that Fire Stick, hit up Prime, look for Broke AF, and get your laugh on. Lots of people are in this. Even in addition, Intellectual Radio is on there as well too. So you can see that the studio looks like it's the old studio, but still, it's the studio of Intellectual Radio. You see Earl, you see Stephanie Evans on there and whatnot and everything. It's a really good look. So y'all really enjoy that. All right. They're on episode 2, just letting y'all know. All right. But start on episode 1, watch episode 2 for IR, and just watch the rest of the series, because you guys are going to see some really amazing people and everything. So that's some really good news that's coming from B-Side right there. All right. Moving on to a couple more things. Just want to get a couple things off my chest before we get into the meat of today's conversation. I just want to say Becky is foul. She is very foul, for that. But what the thing is with that whole thing with Aunt Becky and homegirl from Desperate Housewives. To me, at first when the news broke, I was like, okay, this is rich people being rich. This is nothing new. Like, my entire life, I've always known that when you are in that economic bracket, that's what you do, because you're in that economic bracket. You slide a few grand to the chancellor, the dean, the president, whomever it is, the university. You say, hey, I know my kid likes to eat dirt, but I need for them to be in this prestigious university. Okay, we'll make that happen. I mean, seriously, think about it, because look at all these idiotic politicians and senators and whatnot, who are basically making making the rules for our country, but they're all morons, because it's like they all came from these privileged backgrounds where they're able to get into Yale and Harvard and everything because Daddy was able to get them in. So it's like not even like a surprise. However, I really hope that because this is so blatant and this is so like out there, that they're actually gonna make an example of Aunt Becky and Desperate Housewives lady. So, I have no sympathy for them. It's like, hey, if you get jail time, good. But I don't think it's gonna happen though, because like I said earlier, rich peopling, and they're gonna find a way around this or whatever, unfortunately. But I really hope that there's gonna be some type of justice that's gonna come about this, and they are gonna be on the new season of Orange is the New Black. And moving on to what happened on Monday, Kurt Angle's announcement about his WrestleMania opponent, that was the wettest fart I've ever heard in my life. Like, really? Seriously? We over here, honestly, y'all, like really waiting for him to, okay. Because my thing was like, I think John Cena would make sense for Kurt Angle to wrestle at WrestleMania, right? That would make sense. But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what if they go a different direction and they make it Shelton Benjamin instead? Because I would like to see Shelton Benjamin against Kurt Angle like one last time. But then, like, some of my friends in the mid-card mess, shout out to the mid-card mess. What's up, y'all? They said, nah, because like they went into it and everything. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So, I'm ready for him to say Cena. So he gets out there. I'm over here. Okay, I'm ready for this to happen. I'm ready to hear. I'm ready to hear, like, John Cena's music. And he's talking about Baron Corbin. What? Baron Corbin? Baron Corbin against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania? That's the WrestleMania match? That's the third match on Raw. Are you serious? Come on, man. That's not WrestleMania worthy. And then I was like, okay, so this is what they're going to do. At first, I thought it was a joke for real. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to roll with it and see what happens at the end of the night. No, they dead set on this. Like, this really is going to happen. So I'm like, wow. So I'm really hoping that this is going to all blow over. And this may be kind of like a little bit of a swerve for us fans and whatnot and everything. And then they're actually going to give us what we really do deserve. And we do deserve Kurt Angle against John Cena. Because think about it. Think about how poetic that is, right? John Cena started his career in 2002 on television challenging Kurt Angle, right? Kurt Angle saying that WrestleMania is going to be his retirement match, right? How serendipitous would it be for Kurt Angle to tell John Cena, you started your career with me, I'm going to end my career with you. 17 years later. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how perfect. Like, you cannot write anything more perfect than that. But WWE wants to go a different direction? Come on, man. Take this L. So, yes, and I'm not. So, as y'all know, I'm not feeling that at all. All right. And one last time before we get to the meat of the conversation today, I just want to touch on Jay Prince actually got YBN Almighty J's chain back from the attackers, right? So, number one, what's kind of funny about this is that it's like how Jay Prince is kind of like inserting himself into all these situations that's happening with all these young rappers. And to me, it's like, see, people of my era, we understand the influence of Jay Prince. We understand it. We respect it. We all about Jay Prince. You know what I mean? Because Jay Prince, he's like the Jigga of the South. Yeah. So, it's like, we know all respect and whatnot and everything. But he's dealing with these little 21-year-old dudes who, like, who are you, dude? like seriously, you're entering into like a zone that you don't really want to mess in. Now, it's great that he got the chain back. That's fantastic. But it's a little bit, like, okay. I hope this is why I don't want to happen. I don't want to see like Jay, because Jay has been like kind of getting himself involved with like other MCs and other rappers, like some issues and whatnot and everything as of late. But I don't want to see it where it's like he gets involved with somebody and then somebody just happens to like clown him so hard on social media that it kind of breaks him. I don't want to see that happen to Jay Prince. Come on now, like who wants to see that happen to him? So I'm hoping that kind of like that kind of fades out. But what is kind of funny is that Jay Prince getting the chain back kind of reminds me of like, this is probably the guy who can probably get the Infinity Gauntlet away from Thanos. Thanos? Is it Thanos or Thanos?
Thanos.
Okay, Thanos. But so we'll see about that. But anyway, overall though, it's good for hip hop to see that. It's good for hip hop to see some OGs kind of step in and take charge of what's going on and really be able to show these young cats like what they're about and whatnot. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens with that situation. And speaking of situations, we have the greatest situation in the studio tonight. I am excited about this, y'all. I am so geeked about this. So, as many of you guys have seen for the past couple of weeks, I've been posting about this fundraiser that's happening on March 23rd. All right. One of the sponsors for the fundraiser is B-Side Studios. All right. Remember what I said. If it ain't the right side, it ain't B-Side, baby. But anyway, So this fundraiser is a really big deal, right? And I understand, like, fundraisers happen, like, are a dime a dozen. They happen all the time and everything. But this one right here really stands out. This one right here really does take the cake. This one right here really does permeate you and sticks to your ribs and sticks to you. And you understand that every red cent that is going towards this fundraiser because of you is really helping out students of the future. And I think it's fantastic. And I think they're doing a fantastic job. This is the 6th annual Pay It Forward fundraiser brought to you by Avid from Kelly High School. And I have 2 guests in the studio tonight who are 2 of the coordinators that are putting together this amazing event. All right. I have Miss Christine Prophet, my wifey, and I have Miss Lauren Petruska as well too. Did I say it right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank God. I was like coaching myself, and I have them in the studio tonight to talk about the Avid fundraiser and talk about Avid in general. Ladies, welcome to the MDX radio show.
Hey.
Woo! Woo! All right. So first things first, ladies, I want y'all to tell myself and also our listening audience, our beautiful listening audience, what is Avid? I remember the first time when my wife Christine came home and told me about Avid. I'm weird. So like the first thing that hit my mind was,
we all know. We all know.
I'm like, that's diva spelled backwards. So is it like is it like an all female group or whatever like that? But she broke it down for me and everything. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. So tell our listening audience, what exactly is Avid?
Okay. Can we talk now? Wait. Can we first shout out Maurice for being the best hype man around? Thank you.
I try.
We're going to need this hype on the day of the actual event as well.
Oh, yeah. You'll see it all
around,
night.
Just hype everybody up. Like, hype. No, I'm just kidding. So first, Avid was created in California by a teacher who felt that there was a need for students who are in what's called the academic middle to have the opportunities to get into higher level courses in high school. So for instance, those honors, AP, and IB courses. So her focus was on students who were your typical C or B students. And AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. And then once it took off there in California, it started going to other places as well. And I want to make sure I get this right. So I'm going to read just a little bit. So basically, Avid has been around for 30 years. It serves or reaches more than 425,000 students in approximately 4,800 schools in 48 states and 16 other countries and territories. So it has some very far reach. And it's been established at Kelly High School for over 10 years.
Wow, it's amazing. So Avid really does focus on those middle of the road students then. Yes. Like the students who are not necessarily honors, but they're not necessarily like, failing too bad. They're kind of like those middle of the road, just need a little bit of guidance to get into the right path towards college, correct?
Absolutely. Oftentimes, these students, they have the grades, maybe they just lack the organizational skills. And so that's something that we help them with in terms of this is a method for taking notes. And here is what you need to do in order to keep all of your things organized. So you're not going into your book bag and pulling out pieces of paper that look like something ate it, things like that. Kind of like what your book bag looked like when you were in high school.
Oh my God. You have no idea. Like when you said that right now about going to your book bag look like the Cookie Monster ate your homework. I swear that's how it was with me.
Oh, I know.
I didn't believe in folders. I was just like, I'm putting the assignment in the bag. I'm gonna keep it moving. So yeah, this would have been helpful.
Yeah. So that's basically what we do. So there are Avid at our school begins at 9th grade. However, Avid can start as early as kindergarten. There are some places where Avid is established at kindergarten. So obviously everything is a progression, So it's like little things as they continue to move forward. But here in Chicago and from other places that I've visited and talked to people, most of the time it starts at middle school. So we do have a few students who come in and maybe they start taking Avid at 6th grade and then they move over to Kelly. And so they've been in for several years. So they know what the expectations are and they basically stick with it.
Yeah, I think what sets Avid apart from a lot of other programs is that it's an actual curriculum and a class that students take throughout throughout school. It's a period, it's a class that they go to just like any other class. It's an elective. And the curriculum is divided up to provide a bunch of different experiences for post-secondary so that students can explore what it means to go to college, see themselves in different career paths. So we have curriculum days on Mondays and Wednesdays. We have tutoring days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Fridays are dedicated to post-secondary exploration, whether it's guest speakers coming in, field trips, or other opportunities just, again, for students to explore and try some things out.
That's incredible. So basically, the students who are in Avid, they will be together in the same class with Avid for the entire program while they're in high school?
Yes, that's the idea. When it was first brought to Kelly, basically a teacher would take their students through all 4 years. So you'd have the same teacher for all 4 years, and which is really nice because, you really get to know the students, they get to know you. You form a really good bond. The way that it works now is that we basically have or we try to have someone who's like the expert teacher for freshman and sophomore, and then the expert teacher for junior and senior. So in this way, there is some of that still continues on. And every school does it a little bit differently. It's basically whatever works for your school.
So you earlier mentioned that it can start as early as kindergarten.
Yeah, I can.
Wow. So how does that work? If it starts at kindergarten, are you kind of like, is it adapting the same structure as it is in high school, like where they're together through K through 8?
Well, I don't think that happens, but I think it's more about the idea of talking about college as early as possible, not waiting until much later and saying, I can't have this conversation with you because, it's going to take forever for you to get to college. I think it's more the idea of like, we must start to talk about college and college options as early as possible so that children, kids, teenagers, they know what's out there rather than like waiting until 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and just then starting to talk about it, or even waiting until high school before you actually start talking about it. I think that's what the idea is, that if you can start talking about it to kids when they're very young, then that idea is there that this is something that's, and that maybe this is a program that will help me get there.
I think that's really cool too, because what it does, it really does create that reality in those kids early on, like letting them know that, no, this is not impossible for you to be a part of this. No, it's not impossible for you to go to college. It is possible. And planting that seed in early in them, especially like when you're talking about kindergarten, first grade and such. I mean, that only does help in the long run, because I know from myself, I saw my brother go to college before I did, obviously, because, he's 9 years older than I am. But I also saw like how it wasn't my mom's in terms of like, getting it all together and everything. And so I saw what she went through, and I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, I'm probably never gonna go to college because it looks like it's too it's too impossible. And plus, I knew I was a knucklehead, and I'm like, there's gonna be no college in the world that's gonna accept me. But knowing that if you start in kindergarten, and let's say by 3rd, 4th grade, that they really have in them like the know-all, knowing that this can be a reality, then that's only, there's only upside to that. So I think that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
Yeah, it's all about providing access, opportunities, and pathways. And again, one of the things I love about our program is we're not just working with students that want to get to college, we're also working with their families. We're a huge school community. We're a neighborhood school at Kelly High School. And no matter what level of Avid we're talking about, parents and families are always looped into the conversation. It's not just between teacher and students or between students. Families are involved in the process throughout. So it's a collective support.
Absolutely.
So is Avid only available like in the city? Because I never heard of Avid until within like the last 8 years.
The way that it works is basically a district will bring Avid over. So really what you need someone who is willing to be in charge, because just because you happen to be in charge does not mean that you're going to get paid. This really is about volunteering to do these extra things, volunteering to put on these extra events like our fundraiser that's this Saturday from 7 to 11
at Bourbon Street.
And
it's $40 for a ticket.
And I'm glad you brought that up too. I'm glad you brought that up. I was getting into that. Let's talk about this fundraiser though. Let's talk about this. And now this fundraiser is absolutely incredible. Hey y'all. So peep game, right? So I've been going to the fundraiser, man, for the past since the first one, right, or since the second one, I think.
Maybe the second one.
Yeah. These are fun. These are really, 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 really fun fundraisers. Like when you think about fundraisers, you think of like it's gonna be all stiff and people are gonna be walking around with martinis and wearing tuxedos and saying there, ho hum, oh hello there, you have great poupon. You think it's gonna be all stiff and everything. No, they kick it. They kick it. Seriously, it is a lot of fun, and if for anyone who's in Chicago, you guys understand. 115 Bourbon Street, they get down up there, and they get the entire the entire back hall and everything, and it's a lot of fun. So tell us about like the fundraiser itself overall, because this is the sixth one. This is your first time. This is your first time working together like exclusively. When it comes to coordinating this event overall and everything. So you've seen it. You've seen like the growth of it and the evolution, how it really has evolved. So tell us, because I think you came in the game probably like on the second or third year of the fundraisers, right, Lauren?
I think it was the second year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us like what you have seen in terms of like its growth and where it is, like in terms of like its growth and how it really has evolved efficiently the way it has.
Sure. So when the first started, like Christine said, we are a group of teachers, counselors, school staff that really want to support our students. So collectively coming together to just say, hey, what's realistic, what can we manage, and let's throw a party for teachers that want to come out and also support our students, right? So after the first couple years, we really started to be strategic about who our target audience was, who can we partner with to really maximize our time and energy for the benefit of our students. Our avid students know about the scholarship from day one. So throughout their 4 years of high school, they know that they have this opportunity come senior year to apply for the Pay It Forward scholarship. And throughout the curriculum, they're working hard to learn about themselves, learn about their college and career paths, but also how they connect to the community around them. And it's all about paying it forward, what they're learning and how that can be applied to the world. So we know they're working hard, so we want to work hard. And over the last couple of years, again, we've refined our strategy and we've really maximized what happens from 7 to 11 p.m. at 115 Bourbon Street this Saturday. And that includes
for $40.
That includes working really awesomely with our site team. And this year we also brought on our event coordinator, Brittany Johnson, who is whipping us into shape and making sure we're meeting all our deadlines. So we're trying some new things, and we're really excited to host this for the third year at Bourbon Street. They have been an amazing partner. They are all about supporting nonprofits. They're local. They have a big enough space for all of our guests with some amazing food and cocktails. And they just know how hard we're working. They're very supportive of schools and our teachers, and they do everything they can to make sure that we have an awesome night,
including making it affordable for us to actually have an event there. In the past, we have had this event, as you said, this is the sixth time that we've done this. And we've tried out different places, and honestly, Bourbon Street gives us the best deal so that we can actually provide enough money for a student to take home this scholarship. So the scholarship in total is $5,000, and it requires many things from a student. It requires them to have a pretty high GPA, top half of their class. It's also asking them to write an entire essay, to submit an application, to submit their transcript. So it's not like it's just I submit my name and call it a day and I got $5,000. That's not how it works at all. They actually start working on it their junior year, and then the winner of the scholarship is announced their senior year. And so the way that works is that we actually have people who score the essays. Obviously, I can't do that because they are my students. I would know who they were. So what we do is we try really hard to find people within our building, including our community partners, who can go ahead and do that scoring, so that this way they can see this is what our students are doing. This is how they are earning this money. So in the previous year, we've had anywhere from a teacher to a staff member to a community partner that's within our school do the scoring for us, so that this way it's as impartial as possible.
So they're quite a bit quite a bit of, I guess, how can I work this? I guess like, levels when it comes to the scoring and when it comes to the evaluation of these, of these essays and such. And you said they start working on these essays their junior year?
Yeah. So what happens is they learn, they complete a unit that's all about like what it means to pay it forward. So they read stories, they read about real life people who have paid it forward in their communities to change things, whether it be environmental, their own personal communities. And then they're asked like, how have you paid it forward in your community? And why is it important to do so? And that's the reason why it's called the Pay It Forward Scholarship, because we really are focusing in on like, what have you done? Not just I've gone to school, but what else have you done to be a part of your community and to continue to give back to your own community as well, which is the reason why this scholarship was created as well, because the original team of teachers at Kelly who brought Avid to Kelly said we need to do something so that we are also like providing something for our students more than just like what we're already giving to them through Avid. And so that's how this scholarship was created. And we are just trying to continue to do, make sure that there's always a scholarship available for these students. I'm very fortunate that I don't do this by myself at all. I have an entire team in the building who I work with. They help me when it comes to all the rest of the events that we do at our school as well, because this is not just a one-time thing. We do many, many different events. We just got back from an overnight on Monday and Tuesday. We visited Illinois State University, University of Illinois in Springfield, and University of Missouri. So we're constantly doing something to, again, like Lauren said, ensure that students are exposed to as much college as possible. But with that comes the work for this as well. So besides the team that I have that's inside the building, I have a team that's outside of the building as well, which Lauren is a part of. So Lauren actually used to teach at Kelly, and she was an Avid teacher. She was on the team. She left Kelly and went on to something else. But because she loves Kelly, she loves Avid, she loves our students, she loves me. She's on this committee, as well as Brittany Johnson, who's our event coordinator. She heard what we were doing and has said, you know what, I'd like to be a part of this, as well as B-Side Studios, who is a sponsor for our event. Said, I believe in what you guys are doing, and this is how I'm going to help. We also have another sponsor this year. It's TGIN. It stands for Thank God It's Natural. They are a hair care line. They're a Chicago-based company. They are a sponsor for us this year. This is the first year we've actually reached out to try and gather sponsors as well, because we want to be able to continue to offer this scholarship. It gets a little scary sometimes when you're looking at how much money you have in there, and that you've been telling students since their freshman year that, hey, it's possible one of you can win a $5,000 scholarship. So when your funds are getting low, you start to feel like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So that's the reason why this year we're trying and reaching out for those sponsors, as well as just doing the normal things that we've always done. We also send out donation letters to different sports teams in Chicago, to companies and restaurants. And again, like I said, I have a team because I cannot take credit for all of this at all. We also have former teachers and other educators who have also moved on from Kelly, who again, love Kelly, love our students, love Avid, and continue to help us to gather prizes so we can have wonderful things to offer to the people who do show up to our event that's at 115 Bourbon Street for $40 this Saturday.
7-Eleven.
I think that's real. I think that's fantastic. And what I'm really curious about, since the seed is planted into these students, their freshman year, in terms of like the essay, in terms of the scholarship itself, does it get very competitive between them? Like, where they really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're working on their essays. They really are pouring their hearts into these essays because, like you said, it's 5 stacks, that's on the line. So they really want to make sure it's as polished, as perfect as possible. So do you see like them, like the competitive juices happening, like, between them saying like, let me see your essay. No, my paragraph's better than that paragraph or whatever. Do you see like that kind of like enthusiasm coming from them?
I can speak to kind of what I've seen. Like Christine said, I worked with the freshmen, so we have a ceremony at the end of the year to celebrate all the different levels, but there's a particular focus on the senior class because they're getting their scholarships and their acceptance letters for college, but we take all the levels to see this experience and to be a part of it. So there's definitely a high level of enthusiasm, but it's, from my side, it always felt just like a community celebration. There's a friendly competitiveness, but it's really so amazing to see these students support each other and rally around each other and just be happy for what they are receiving because they earned it and they worked so hard.
Absolutely. This year's winner, again, they apply at junior year and then they win at the beginning of senior year when we do like an open house for the parents. Her name is Leticia Flores, and everyone was very happy for her. They were very excited for her. She's been accepted to over 10 colleges and universities, which, obviously is amazing. It shows that she has worked very hard and clearly is very deserving of a $5,000 scholarship as well. But besides competitiveness, I think something that's really important to note is that this $5,000 scholarship will make or break whether or not you get to go to the university that you've been thinking about for 4 years, and maybe even longer, depending on, again, when the seed has been planted that college is a possibility for you. The winner from the previous year, she continuously worked on scholarships throughout her entire senior year, despite the fact that she had won that $5,000, because she knew that college is expensive and that you need to be able to cover all of those costs, and that, even though you get what looks like a really great package from a school, once you really compare how much money you're getting, that you're going to need some of that extra money. So that $5,000 really did change for her what possibilities she had in terms of the schools that she could go to. Last year's winner, her name is Guadalupe Blanco, and she is currently at Loyola University.
Woo-hoo.
Nice. So needless to say, the impact of these scholarships really is a big deal. It really, like you said, it really does determine, what really their next step is going to be in terms of, what university they'll be able to attend to, what they can afford. It might even, where they had their mindset, okay, I'm probably only qualified for this university, but once the scholarship comes into play, it's like, oh wait, now I have other options now. So it really does have a big impact, when it comes to decision making then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a couple of questions I get from people. They ask about the process for the scholarship qualifications, but also why that specific amount. And that's from our research and just college going research in general. We know that is going to be a tipping point and in favor of the student. We want to make sure that we have enough to give them rather than split it for smaller amounts. So as we continue to grow and refine and gather more sponsors, we hope to be able to provide more scholarships and more sustainable and renewable scholarships for more students.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Saturday. So what's to be expected? Because I'm excited. I'm already familiar with what to expect already, but I know there's going to be people that are going to be there for the very first time, this Saturday. So what's expected, like, when they arrive?
Sure. So like we said, Bourbon Street is a great venue. There's always live music, and they have a bunch of different rooms and multiple bands playing that evening. But when we first get there, we typically start with dinner. They have amazing food, and people that have come in the past are always wondering, like, are we still going to be able to get that food buffet? Absolutely. So Bourbon Street really comes through with the dinner. But people are already asking me about our raffle prizes and our silent auction. We have a wide reach throughout the city, and we have done some fantastic work gathering some raffle prizes and some silent raffle items. So people are saving their dollars for some raffle tickets and looking forward to watching some of the NCAA basketball games as well.
Yes, absolutely. So for instance, you could win or possibly win a beauty basket. You could win a food shopper, because we have one of those, because why not, right? We also have passes to the Children's Museum in Oak Lawn. We have White Sox tickets. We have gift certificates to different restaurants and eateries in Chicago. We also have family-friendly things like a 5-season summer family pass. So there are many things that we offer in addition to the silent auction. Our silent auction normally is a one-night stay at the Wit, as well as a beanbag set, because I know those are like super hot. People love those things. So we work for a very long time gathering as many items as we possibly can because we do want it to be a lot of fun for people who are there, to see themselves like throw in their tickets and possibly win something.
Yeah, I think people walk away like we have a lot of winners and some double ups. Like people know that they're going to win something at our fundraisers, which is a nice feeling. And everybody that attends our fundraiser will get a nice swag bag with some goodies from our sponsors this year as well.
And let me tell y'all, seriously, like they are not playing because look, let me tell you guys, right? I have the worst luck when it comes to any kind of contests. I have the worst luck when it comes to any type of just like bets or anything like that. And even especially raffle prizes, right? So like I told you guys earlier, I've been to a few of these, a few of the scholarships in the past, the previous ones, and had a great time. This is the only time, seriously, that I've actually won raffle prizes. I've won Sox tickets. I've won comedy show tickets. I won. What was that one thing I won that one time? What was that one thing I won that one time? Look how specific that is, guys. But seriously though, if a guy like me who like never wins at anything when it comes to contests, anything like that, can win at this, you guys can win. I'm telling you for real, because they had some really dope prizes. Like I remember seeing Bulls tickets. I remember seeing tickets to the movies. I remember seeing tickets to not even tickets, but like weekend getaways. I remember seeing like wine baskets as well too. There was they had what's that? RPM, the steak restaurant. They've had those vouchers as well as far as like prizes and everything. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's a wide variety of some really cool things that you can get from this. And the thing is, what's wonderful is that all the proceeds, every 100% goes to the scholarship, goes to these kids. So when you're there, you're having fun, you're drinking and everything, you're eating good. And trust me, the chicken is delicious. It really is good. I'm a chicken snob.
It really is.
Yeah,
it really
that
is
chicken
good.
is fire. Y'all, true story. I got there late one year, right? Surprise.
Just 1 year?
But I get there though, right?
Are you sure it was just 1 year?
Right, I know, but I get there though, right? I got there late one year. It wasn't even my fault. It's a whole long story. We can talk about it another time. But I got there and after I saw Christine, gave her kiss and everything, I said, "What's up to what?" And everybody, I said, "Okay, where's the food at? I just want to get that chicken." And they're like, "It's gone." I'm like, "No, oh my God, why?" I mean, for real, like I was so close to going into the back, into that kitchen, put on the apron and frying up myself. Seriously,
I would have been the most disgusting chicken
ever. Please, that would have been fire if I was back there.
No,
if I was back there,
no, I don't think
putting the deep fry. Trust me, I would put my own little spice into it too. You know what I mean? My own little remix to the seasoning. You know how I do it.
Badly.
You know how I do it.
Yes, badly.
No, perfectly. All right. So I was that close, but seriously though, is really great in terms of just like the ambiance, in terms of fun, just the fellowship, what's available to you. Like it's nonstop of just goodness. Like I said earlier, they have the games on as well too. So when you could bring your bracket, to the fundraiser and make sure that you're keeping up to date and see Duke all the way. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's just so much happening all at one place that you don't want to be anywhere else in the city. You want to only be here this Saturday and such. It's gonna be a really great time, and I really hope to see you guys there and all. So tell us again, in terms of just one more time, where it is, what time is it at, and all that good stuff about the fundraiser.
All right, we will be at 115 Bourbon Street in Marionette Park this Saturday, March 23rd from 7 to 11 p.m. Tickets are $40 in advance, $45 at the door. It includes our dinner buffet and an open bar for beer and wine. So come on out, bring some friends, win some raffle prizes, watch the NCAA games, play some bingo, and have a good time supporting our students.
I have a question. Now, let's say somebody who's watching this right now is in Texas, and they're like, obviously, I can't be at the fundraiser on Saturday. How can they still support if they want to support the Avid fundraiser?
So what they can do is, if they are still working with checks, because I know some people do, they can make their check out to Thomas Kelly High School, and then in the memo line, they can write Avid fundraiser. They can also get on the Kelly website. There's a link where they can go ahead and do a donation. And as long as they write in Avid fundraiser as the donation, then the money will go directly into our scholarship fund.
Yep, you can find links to donate or purchase tickets on our social media. We have a Facebook page. We have our Thomas Kelly High School Twitter website. B-Side has a link on their Instagram, and you can also hit up TGIN.
Absolutely. And of course, you guys can like hit me up directly and I'll get you that information if you're able to do that. That'll be fantastic. I gotta ask you guys, what has been, because you guys are so ingrained into this amazing program, which I wish was around in my district when I was coming up in school, because I could have really used this. But what has been the most rewarding experience for you overall when it comes to working with the AVID program personally?
Oh.
For me, like I said, I was a freshman teacher, and I stuck with the freshmen. They were my bread and butter, my little babies, helping them transition from middle school to high school. And as we know, for students, it's a tough year. So what was the most rewarding experience for me was getting to be their advisory teacher, so I could pop in with them as they became sophomores and juniors. But senior year, I got to hand them their diplomas on stage, and that was just like the ultimate cherry on the cake for me, to just be a part of their experience and to have watched them grown, and to see what their next steps as young adults were going to be. But they were my first AVID class, and I got to see them go from freshman to senior year and graduation.
For me, it's a lot of things. I've been really fortunate enough that I was the senior expert for the past 7 or 8 years. So I exclusively worked with the seniors, and that's the entire college process. That is college applications, scholarships, and independent research paper. It truly is we're teaching college in this classroom full time, right? But for me, I think it's when and if on those really special occasions that I run into those older students, and they're able to tell me, this is what I'm doing, this is how my life has changed, this is how college changed everything for me, this is this is how AVID affected my life, and this is the great things that I'm doing because I had these amazing foundations from being in high school, because I got the exposure that maybe I wouldn't have gotten if AVID was not there and my teacher was not there to advocate for me to get into these higher level courses. Because unfortunately, we know that there are many, many barriers for students, right? Especially for students of color, for our Black and Brown students. And so this is AVID is one of those programs that our attempt and our goal is to break down those barriers. So for me, what is rewarding, what is amazing, is to hear students come back and talk about those things. Or even when I hear students say, I did do all these things, but I had a friend that was an AVID, and I really wish that I was also in that program as well. Because even though I was able to make it, and kudos to you, right? Because it's not easy. But I do wish that I had more of that support. And so that's something for me that's incredibly rewarding, hearing those students come back and talk about how their life has changed because they were able to go out and get these opportunities. Because remember, AVID does stand for Advancement via Individual Determination. So this is not me. It's not me who's doing this. It is the students who are doing these things, right? It may be just is me trying to help them break down some of those barriers, right? But it really is about what they do with all of these things that are provided for them, how they continue to move forward, and what they do when I'm no longer in the picture or any of us are in the picture whatsoever. So that's something that's very rewarding for me.
Definitely able to really see what the result is of all the work that they put into it to really be able to progress and everything.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Cannot wait until Saturday. Saturday's gonna be so fun, man. For real.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be great. All right. So before we get out of here, I just want to touch on something real quick. Did you guys see the Lollapalooza lineup?
Just saw it.
Not really.
All right. So the Lollapalooza lineup came out, and also the Woodstock 50 came out as well too. That lineup came out as well too, right? So I'm all about, I don't know, I'm weird, guys. I like to look at all the festival lineups, and I know I'm not going, but I'm always looking at oh, who's gonna be on this day? Oh, they're gonna be having. Oh, that sounds great. Oh my god, it's gonna be great. Oh my god, and I'm all excited, but I'm all excited for the rogue people. I have no idea they're going for it because I guess I live vicariously through them. However, if you look at the lineups, right? I'm sorry, but Lollapalooza is killing Woodstock this year. It is murdering it. Now, so Woodstock has just some key names to put out there. Woodstock has on day one, they have Santana, which is awesome. All All right. They have the Killers, Run the Jewels. Right. Day 2, they're gonna have Chance the Rapper, the Black Keys, Greta Van Fleet, which is like I guess like a imitation of like Aerosmith or something like that.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Man, get your bands right.
India Irie, Taylor Bennett's gonna be on day 2 as well too. Which I'm sorry, but like Taylor Bennett, he needs to like not be on the same day with Chance because he needs his own situation, but that's a whole nother story. Day 3 is a monster. Day 3 is a beast for Woodstock. Jay-Z. All right. Please don't ever disrespect Hove like that.
Oh, I'll do it again and
Please don't
again.
disrespect Hove like that. No, because the door is right there. Imagine Dragons, the Elephant Cage, Common, Vince Staples.
It's Cage the Elephant, not Elephant Cage.
Oh, same thing.
Wow.
Earl Sweatshirt and Janelle Monáe, right? So you're like, okay, bet. That sounds pretty stacked. But Lala came out with some heat today. They came out with the heat. All right. Lala got Childish Gambino. That's already the winner right there. Ariana Grande, 21 Pilots, Tame Impala, Jay Balvin.
You don't even know who he is.
I just know that I know Carla. Hey, shout out to Carla Torres. I know Carla likes him a lot. Lil Wayne, Janelle Monáe, man, she getting paid this summer. Janelle Monáe, Meek Mill, 21 Savage, Her, don't sleep on her.
I like her.
Black, Baby and Gunna, Shaq West, Smino, JID. Yes, I'm still going. Chevelle, Denzel Curry, and Shaq. Come on, man.
Why do people need Shaq?
Oh, dude, come on. Shaq on the line. That's a pure winner right there.
I have a lot of feelings about that.
Hey, that's the second Shaq album. You Can't Stop the Rain was cold.
You were the only person who listened.
And I still listen to it too. I
believe it. That's awful.
I still have it bumping for real. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy how Woodstock has his 50th anniversary. You're like, okay, Woodstock's gonna bring heat. But a lot of police was like, nope, hold my beer. I got y'all on this one.
Hold my
beer. So, you know what I'm saying? So like, I was supposed to actually go to Woodstock 99. And I'm still mad I didn't go.
Stop.
I swear. I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go with Val Russ. And Val, if you're listening, shout out to you. Because she was literally on her way and she said, hey, we're going to Woodstock this weekend. I'm going to pick you up. Come with us. And I said, nah, I just want to hang out with my friends. We're just going to mess around, whatever.
I just want to hang out at Burger King.
Yeah, seriously.
You every night.
Right. I just want to hang out at Burger King with my friends. And it didn't dawn on me until like weeks later. I'm like, dang, you could have gone to Woodstock. You could have seen DMX. Dang, bro. You know what I'm saying? But so then when I heard that Woodstock 50 was coming out, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of dope to go to this. But then I see the Lala lineup and I'm like,
Your takeaway from Woodstock 99 was DMX?
Yeah. You see the footage that he him in front of like 1 million people? That looked amazing.
Even you know there's something wrong with that. You thought about it right. You're like, oh wait,
you can't beat that at all. But just the experience though would have been pretty dope. Now, if it was up to y'all, what would y'all? Which festival would y'all pick?
Oh man. See, I'm more like I'd like to see this person here, this person here, this person here, because there are people I just don't want to see. Like Jay-Z.
Yeah, I want to cut and paste to make my own lineup.
Exactly.
How dope would that be? For real. You can just like customize your own
like
festival
I pick you like and you and you and you're cool too.
Who would be like your top 5 then? Who would be your top 5?
Oh, you can't make me do a top 5. You already know this.
Okay, do a top 3.
No.
Do a top 2.
No.
Ew. Top 1?
No.
Wow. Just like that?
Yep.
Can't commit.
No. That's a lot of pressure. You can't make me do that right now this second. You didn't even let me like practice or anything.
If I combine them, do a top 5, it will go Gambino, Jay-Z, Black Keys,
that's a good pick.
Tame Impala, and Earl Sweatshirt.
Thank you. I just said earlier this week I want to go see Tame Impala this summer.
They're gonna be in town too.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I do love me some Black Keys. I'm not going to lie about that. They're pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd give them any numbers or anything like that. Like top 5,
right.
top 2, top 6. I don't think I'd do that.
Yeah, but nevertheless, though, once again, Chicago reigns supreme when it comes to when it comes to the lineups. But they look really good though overall. But before we get out of here, first of all, I want to thank you, ladies, so much for coming by tonight and talking about this event. I am so excited. If you guys need to get in contact with any of them about any questions about the event, if you have any questions about how to donate, how to get tickets, how to be able to even get there. If you, the easiest way just to kind of like expedite everything, hit me up directly and I'll get the message over to them and I'll make sure that you're all handled, you're all good and everything. But I want to see you all there. It's going to be a fantastic time this Saturday night at 115 Bourbon Street. All right, I'm going to post all the information on how to get tickets, how to get there, the address, all the whole lineup. You're going to see me. I'm going to be very annoying on your timeline when it comes to this. All right, so be prepared. But ladies, thank you again so much for coming out tonight, sharing your time with us, being here tonight and everything. And also, shout out to the sponsor TGIN as well. Also B-Side Studios. I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, no, I just wanted to say I wanted to make sure that we did shout out our sponsors, TGIN, which stands for Thank God It's Natural. They are a Chicago-based hair care line. They're available at Target, Sally Beauty, Walgreens, CVS, like all of those really great places. Also, shout out to B-Side Studios, and then also Rotulo's, because they are providing a banner for us, and they are actually providing shirts for us to wear at the event, and that's really important. So we're just very grateful for all of these groups that are willing to sponsor us, donate to us, all of that.
Absolutely. Sanchez Graphics right there. And how can everybody get in contact with you guys, social media wise?
I am on Instagram, LP619, and Christine is on Facebook.
Christine Prophet.
Sure. There you
much.
go.
All right.
Nice and easy.
Exactly. All right. That's going to be it for tonight, guys. Thank you again for joining us. But be with us. We will be back next week. I will have 2 more guests next week. We'll talk about a live hip hop. So it's going to be on. All right. Y'all have a great night. And thank you again for tuning in to MDX Radio. Peace.
Yeah, Williams made it. Yeah. I turn up the party, yada.